Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. That is experiment number 2 of Power System Protection Lab. Title of this experiment is Study of Characteristics of DMT and IDMT Directional Over Current Relay. Here I will give you basic instructions required to perform this experiment. So I will expect that student will go through this video before coming into the lab. This is directional overcurrent relay. As we can see, it has two inputs, CT and VT, current input and voltage input, and as output it has two set of contacts. Each contact has two states, normally open and normally closed state. This is the central common point, normally closed between these two and normally open between these two. Same is the case over here. When relay will trip, these contacts will make a transition from its normal state to the new state. Normally open will become closed and normally closed will become open. As directional overcurrent relay will detect fault only in one direction and sense the overcurrent condition, in order to simulate directional current in this lab, we have this simple setup. This setup consists of two variable voltage sources which are connected in parallel with each other, and at their parallel connection, there is a load connected, provision to connect the load, this point. Now the current between these two sources and voltage across that parallel combination can be taken from these 2 points. This is current terminal, here is the voltage terminal. You will connect the circuit according to the instructions provided in the manual. Here, by turning on these two switches, we will turn on the power for this variable voltage and this variable voltage source. These two are connected in parallel. Upon the operation of this switch, these two sources will get connected with each other. If I show you the diagram of the internal circuitry of this arrangement, here this diagram we can see the voltage VT terminal and CT terminal are measuring current and voltage that is flowing from generator 1 towards generator 2. Once this switch S is closed, two generators G1 and G2 will be in parallel, and across their parallel combination we have the connection of load. Now by varying the voltage at the terminal of this source G1 and G2, we can vary the direction of flow of current. Now here in this circuit, the potential of G1 and G2 can be increased or decreased by using these knobs. Once these two are connected in parallel, by closing that switch we can increase and decrease the voltage of either so G1 G2 with the help of these dials. Now I will make the circuit and then show you after the connection of the circuit. The detailed instruction to operate the front panel of these digital relays is given at the start of the manual of Power System Protection Lab. Here I will operate it just to give you demonstration how we can set or take the reading. If I press the first button, that will select the first option from here, controller mode. We will operate all the relays in controller mode. Here you can see two setup, set current and actual current. If I close the switch over here, make sure that before closing that switch both the sources are at 0, so that there is no current flowing in either direction. As soon as I will close the switch, a slight change in current you can see over here. Now by increasing only one source, you will see that current is increasing. Here it is 0.8, now 1.047, and if I further increase with a slight increase in voltage, current is increasing. It means now as the voltage of generator 2 G2 is 0, so that's why current is flowing from G1 towards G2. Now by keeping G1 at its this fixed value, if I increase G2, look at what is going to happen here. With the increase in G2, current is decreasing rather increasing, because now the voltage difference between G1 and G2 has reduced. Due to that decrease in voltage difference, the current is decreasing. But if I keep on increasing the voltage at G2, here you can see the current will approach to the minimum value and then it will start increasing again. So that is the current reversal. Now current is flowing from source G2 towards source G1. So that is the reversal of current. So this mechanism will help us to establish a current in our required trip direction, whatever we want. Now we will see by setting the relay which one is the trip direction and which one is the normal direction, in which even if the current will be above the pickup setting, relay is not going to operate. That will be the non-trip direction. Remember, overcurrent relays will trip in forward direction and would not respond to the fault in reverse direction. That's why these are known as directional overcurrent relays. Now, which one is the forward tripping direction and which one is reverse non-tripping or blocking direction of this relay? Here it is important thing, if just this current value is given to you, how student can determine whether this current is from G1 to G2 or G2 towards G1? We can't tell unless we change one of these two dials. For example, if this is the set value 0.61 and I increase G1, if current is going to increase from the set value, it means the current was already from G1 to G2. By the increase in voltage in G1, it has further increased. But if current will start decreasing, it means actually current was flowing from G2 towards G1. With the increase in G1, now it was reduce the current by reducing the potential difference between these 2 points, and then it will start increasing the current in the direction from 1 to 2. Let's see what happens. I am going to increase the voltage at G1. Let's see what happens to the current. Here it is decreasing. It means current was actually flowing from G2 to G1. That's why with the increase in G1, current is decreasing. If I keep on increasing this current, here it will start increasing. Now the reversal of direction of current has occurred. In the same way, if I increase from this dial, you can see it is decreasing first and then will start increasing in opposite direction. If I show you what is happening over here with the bulb, nothing is there. Bulb is still off. The reason because potential across these two sources is not sufficient to turn this bulb on, because the heavy current is flowing at very low voltage due to the zero impedance between these two sources. A slight difference in voltage result in a large value of flow of current. Here you can see the current is 1.6 ampere, even there is no potential yet available. Maximum when these dials are at 100% of their values, then we get maximum 50 volt in that condition. Now if I keep on increasing the two dials simultaneously one after the other so that current remains within safe range, that is 2 ampere. Let me do that quickly. Here now you can see it has turned on the bulb, because now the parallel voltage across this bulb has increased to a value that can turn on this bulb. This brightness shows that we have sufficient voltage. Student will perform this experiment at a voltage level which will show this visible indication of operation of this light bulb. Now here important thing to note for student. First, to determine the direction in which current is flowing. I have already mentioned how to determine it. Second thing is to determine the trip direction of this relay. For that thing I will have to set the relay. Let's do the setting quickly. Let's set the current equal to 1 ampere. That is 1/1 ampere. Let's make it DMT, and DMT setting let's trip in 1 second. Enter. So already the actual current is around 0.08. Here you can read that current, and set current is 1.1. Okay. Now let's increase current in the direction from G1 to G2. Let's see whether the relay trips in that condition or not. I am increasing G1. Here current is increasing. Yes, relay has tripped. From here you can see alarm and then trip. Both indications are on. Relay has tripped due to this current. It means the direction of trip for this relay is from this direction if current is flowing from G1 to G2. Okay. Then now I am going to show you quickly. If I increase G2 current, then there will be no tripping at all, even if current will be above the pickup setting of the relay. Let me reset and set the relay. Relay has been set again. Now this time I will increase G2 by keeping G1 constant. Here voltage is sufficient, that's why we can see here an visible indication in the light bulb. Student will perform experiment at such a voltage that show at least this much brightness in the bulb, so that one relay will trip. I will show you what happens to that light bulb. Light bulb has been connected through these normally closed contacts. If I open that contact here, you can see it will turn off the bulb. So that will happen by tripping of the relay. Now if I increase G2, here you can see current is decreasing. So direction of current is still from G1 to G2. Now if I further increase, current is increasing. It means now the direction of current has changed from source 2 to source 1, G2 to G1. Now if I keep on increasing that source G2, current will become greater than the pickup setting of 1.01 ampere. So here we can see current is above the pickup, but relay is not responding to that current. Reason, because this current is in opposite direction. Opposite direction means non-trip direction of the relay. If I change the direction of current by increasing the G1 here, you will see first current is going to reduce, then it will increase in opposite direction. As soon as it will go above that value of 1.01 second, relay will trip. Before tripping of the relay, this time I have set the time to 10 seconds. Before the tripping of the relay, I have reduced the current to get it reset. Look here, as this current is going to cross this value, now relay has picked the current, and after a delay of 10 seconds it is going to trip. So if I reduce the current before that time, relay will get reset. So it means if I remove the fault before that tripping time, relay will get reset. Again you will see here. Now this time let it trip. Here relay has tripped, and in response it has turned off this light bulb. That relay has tripped, and that can further be verified over here. This alarm and trip signal both has indicated the fault as well as trip of the relay. Now the third thing that student will observe, we have verified that relay is tripping from source 1 to source 2. If we want to change its trip direction, what changes are required in the connection in order to make this relay to trip from G2 to G1 current and to not trip for the current which is flowing from 1 to 2. So that is their lab assignment. They will have to show me the method by which the direction of trip of this relay can be changed. Once the student will verify this thing that it has only one trip direction and is how its trip direction can be changed, next task will be the reading. Reading is very simple. Make sure that let me start it from 0. In order to turn off the setup, first make the switch open, reduce these sources one after the other to 0. If student will fail to do that and just try to make it 0 by reducing one voltage 0 then other, then there will be huge voltage difference and huge current will flow between G1 and G2. Mean you have made one source 0 by keeping other at high voltage, so that definitely result in very high current and that will blow the fuse. If this will happen, student will lose their marks because they haven't followed the instruction provided by the instructor for the safe use of equipment. Now let me show you, both are 0 at this point. Make sure that relay is in controller mode, and now close the switch. There is no current. Increase the current slightly by increasing first G1. Don't set your relay at this stage because we are going to build the voltage so that light bulb shows some indication over here. So that's why I'm going to increase these two voltages simultaneously. First increase one source, then increase the second. As my one hand is busy to hold the camera, you can do it simultaneously by controlling both the sources simultaneously. Here first source, second source. Make sure that current is within safe limits. We will keep on increasing this voltage in parallel one after the other unless we have sufficient voltage across the light bulbs so that it must give a visible indication. And then we perform voltage or this experiment at this voltage level. So experiment is simple. Whatever current you want to set, when this actual current is on display, set the current here at this stage and then once you will put the setting, for example first reading you want to take at 1 ampere setting, I am just giving an example, and the tripping current should be 1.5 time of that value, but in trip direction. We have already seen that trip direction is from G1 to G2, so I will make sure this current is 1.5 ampere, 1.5 times of the set current before setting the relay. In trip direction I am increasing G1. Once this current will become increasing and become equal to 1.5, I will stop at that moment. Here it is 1.498. It has reduced slightly. Yes, almost 1.5. At this stage I will complete the setting of the relay. So let me set this current to E1. It is 1.01, except it is as it is because the decrement button is not working right now. It will be functional soon. Here it is current setting, then DMT or IDMT, whatever you want to perform. Let's make it DMT, and our trip time is 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Press enter. As soon as I have pressed enter, relay has picked because current was already above its pickup setting and equal to 1.5 time of pickup setting. Relay has tripped. Now tripping data is given here. Set time will be the trip time in case of DMT, and in case of IDMT, CT calculated time will be given over here. Then we have set current 1.0. Then the second thing, trip current is 1.43. During that period of setting the current has slightly reduced due to fluctuation in the system voltage. Current varies accordingly. So no problem if this happens, and if there is not sufficient variation from the set value, you can accept the result as it is, otherwise repeat the experiment. This was all from my side, the instructions to start the experiment. The rest is the responsibility of student to show this task completely to the instructor of the lab.